Greetings, Jay, everyone. I got my box of genealogy papers at my mom's house, my mom's dog, some Indian war clubs I was working on earlier, and yeah, and also while we're at it, this used to be my leg, and and it was probably in my right leg because it's the same box as this screw, and this screw came out right here when I went to Oklahoma, or after I went to Oklahoma, and Crete Nation patched me up. Contract Health. God bless Amber Fraser and the Okema Clinic. Oh, geez. And also others. There were some really nice folks there, actually. Nice doctors that were there and nice staff. Anyways, so I mentioned before that I'm going to do some, grab some genealogy stuff. We got some, this one's got some pictures of family members. It's got just different, it's not the most comprehensive book, but what's this? No, it's something else. Wait a second. I have another one of these that's kind of it's like different, like other projects I want to work on. This isn't the one I'm thinking about. There's another one of these out there that's all messed up, but not as messed up, that has stuff on the tribal towns. Oh, maybe it is this one right here. It says genealogy on it. Yeah. Lineage according to Laurel Creek claim. Got the Knight family, the descendants of Hope Harjo. According to, this is how you do Indian genealogy. I know I did a video on that before. This is really how you do it. You get yourself one of these composition pads or books. And then put Hope Harjo. He died 1874, according to the Laurel Creek claim of 1904. Go over, and they got Nottowaki. According to the one I have, according to this guy right here, Hope Harjo, refugee, died 1874. Nottowaki, son of Hope Harjo, died 1859. So he died before the Civil War. William Knight, son of Nottowaki, died 1884. Then this is where it makes a mistake. It says Jacob Knight, son of William Knight, died 1902. Now, Jacob Knight probably did die 1902. My Jacob Knight. My Jacob Knight was the brother of William, who also had a son named Jacob. So this is where the document dated, let's see, 1951. 1951. That's where this document is actually an error compared to previous documents. Other than that, it seems to be pretty consistent with all the other stuff I've seen. Melinda Knight, wife of Jacob Knight. Looks like she got paid some money on his behalf. Sally Knight, daughter of Jacob Knight, but not the daughter of Melinda. You see, if you're reading just this document, you might go, oh, Melinda might be the mom. No, Melinda's not the mom. Sally got paid some money. Jacob Knight, father of Sally Knight, enrolled as Sally McKillop, opposite 4931. That was her final Dawes or her Campbell Creek roll number. Okay. Sally McKillop, CR 4931, that's, Creek roll number, died January 16, 1937. Mother of Effie McKillop, now Scott, 4933, that's my great-grandma's number. Living mother of, at the time, 11 kids. There's one that also, there was a baby and that died. I think she would live like a day or two. I don't know. She didn't live very long. Anyways, so Sally, that's my grandma. And they got Effie McKillop, now Scott. It's kind of the original document what we have in this house. It's in a different volume. It's in an actual volume, actually. I put it in a binder, but yeah, it's more clear on the original. This is a black and white photocopy of a black and white document that's all turned yellow these days. That's why you see all this stuff on the Xerox. Is just, it got kind of yellow. It's not just that it's a Xerox. There's actual like stains, if I recall correct. F. McKillop, now Scott, and then the notary, and yeah. This is Yeah, I think it's 3rd is what it says. Day of July, AD 1951. My mom, somebody put like sincerely Anna Bruce is my mom and her brother. This is somebody wrote something on the document. I kind of wish they hadn't done that, but let me fix this here in a second. Dang it. Okay, so I made copies of the document because I knew that it would be important to others as well. This one, so this is the claim for descendants of Hobith Harjo. That's what this actually is. This page, that is what it is. Okay. The next page specifies on the heirs of Jacob Knight, because it goes into Sally, his daughter, goes into Melinda, his wife at the time. Then it mentions, Jacob's the father of Sally, Sally's the mother of Effie, Effie's the mother of all these kids again. So both Hobith Harjo and Jacob Knight were in the were refugees with Leohola. I mentioned that before. Waxy Harjo, soldier, died 1881. I mentioned him before. Martha Wind, it says here. It's actually not totally. You see, somebody did something and ended up handwriting Martha Wind. I don't know. I don't know why that was the case. Oh, and we're missing a page in this. We're missing a page. One of them is for Ginny Yargi. Oh no, never mind what I'm talking about. It's late. This is Ginny Wind, daughter of Martha. She was never Ginny Wind. Ginny Wind is actually not Ginny Yargi. It says Ginny Wind enrolled as Ginny Yargi, blah, 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 blah. No, that's actually incorrect. She's actually was always Ginny Yargi. Her dad's name was Jeff Yargi, and I have a document here that states, one of these documents in that pile, also Laurel Creek Claim documents, that show that she was never married. And if you look at her Campbell Creek roll, it mentions Ginny Yargi is the daughter of Jeff Yargi, and then Martha. It doesn't give Martha Wind. It doesn't give Martha Yargi. Definitely doesn't give Martha Wind. No Martha Wind, no Martha Knight, I should say. I said Martha Wind twice. Sorry, again, it's late. So no Martha Wind, no Martha Knight, which was actually her married name on the and on Sally's Campbell Creek roll. It mentions her mom as being named Martha Knight, I believe. But on her sister's document, it just says Martha. It doesn't say Martha Knight. It doesn't say Martha Yargi. No Martha, just Martha. So anyway, Ginny, is a maternal aunt of Effie. Technically the maternal half aunt. Different dad, same mom. Therefore, same clan. Ha ha ha. All right, but yeah, that's what this is. This page is specifically for the descendants of Waxy Harjo, who was a soldier. So that's what this is for. So the other two are for the Jacob Knight line. This is specifically for the Waxy Harjo line. I don't know what his wife's name was. And again, when you look at number 216 and you compare that to other records, he's one of the 4 Waxy Harjos, 3 of which were 35 years old at the time of that document. And I know that he's one of the 35-year-olds because of that number. So that gives me a reference point for his age. So right here, I have a list of all this stuff here. That document doesn't actually specifically say that Hobith Harjo is the father of Matawaaki, I don't believe. But it has the name like right before his. And but you go down this, and all this information is basically contained in the 1904 document, 1920 U.S. Census. I got my great grandpa and some of his kids, 1930 Census. You want to put that stuff down. Campbell Creek roll, Joseph McKellop, Sally, a daughter of Jacob and Martha Knight. It mentions her as Martha Knight. And then you got the census of the U.S. Indian population of 1900. It also has some of the same information, but also has different ages. Like Joseph was mentioned as being 40. Well, he's born in like 1855. He would have been 45 years old. You look at right here, it says 42. He would have been 45. Or 40, well, it was 55 or 56. He was, anyways, both ages are incorrect. I mentioned Sally, 21 years old. We mentioned Sally, 19. Well, it's the same year. What's the deal? You go to the 1882 census, Sally's not even on the census. That means that she wasn't born that year, or at least not born at the time of the census. Like, the oldest she would have probably been at this time would have been 18, and she would have had a newborn daughter. So she was under 18 when she got married to her old man husband, who she loved very much, apparently. And back then, you know, if you were 16, you were considered an adult for the most part. That's kind of how it was back in those days. And traditionally among the Creek people, yeah, like you become a warrior at the age of 16. So naturally, you could become a wife or a mother at 16. Well, a wife, not necessarily a mother, but yet, unless you got married the day you turned 16 and got pregnant right away. So that's neither here nor there. Yeah, Jacob Knight, full blood, 51 years old. He was born in 1849, I believe. So that would actually be correct. So, oh, it has Minnie. That's his adopted daughter. That's actually the daughter of his son-in-law, who's actually not so far distant from him in age. It's kind of funny how life is. 1896 Colbert Census, Creek Nation. In this one, you've got like a Greenleaf. You got a guy named Hodolgoji. You got, sorry, part of the zoom in is because of the lighting in here. Ginny Argy and Sally Knight. Sally, L-L-E-Y. It's the only time I've seen the spelling. They were not consistent with the spelling. So that leads me to believe that this guy is a relative of some kind. He's not the father of either of them. So he's probably like the brother of Martha, I'm guessing. But I could be wrong. There was a guy named Reverend Hodolgoji Harjo. Now, if this guy is the brother of Martha and also possibly the son of Waxy Harjo, then maybe he took the name Harjo after the suffix of his father's name and then became a preacher at some point. I don't know. I'm trying to connect Hodolgoji with Hodolgoji Harjo. I've never made a 100% connection yet, but it's probably there. Proof that we're not Tlaxcala, okay? This is Jacob Knight, Joseph McKillop's other kids by his first wife, okay? They all were at Tlaxcala because of their mother, who's dead at the time. And that's how it worked. So, but yeah, Sally, Greenleaf. But here's the thing. 1896, I just realized right now, Martha was probably dead in 1896. She was already dead in 1900, but she's probably dead 4 years prior to that as well, because she's not here on the Greenleaf census. So, and she would have been, because in 1882 she was. 1882 she was alive, and Sally was not on the census. So, I mean, she wasn't born yet, probably. Okay, Creek Census Roll, 1891. Okay, so Quita, Joseph. You got his brother and, I think his brother's son. You got his, yeah, Tlaxcala again. You got Joseph is mentioned there, but he's not actually part of Tlaxcala. He actually belonged to Quita. Okay, but his kids, minus Effie, all belong to Tlaxcala, which, yeah. Anyways, so Greenleaf Town, 1891. Hodolgoji, Ginny Argy, Sally Knight. That's more the typical spelling of Sally. I made sure to put like last and present. I can't remember what these numbers are specifically for, but I put them down just in case they mattered. Just like field number, I put the field number down, which is related. You'll see that show up on some of the Campbell Creek roll documents, but it's not the roll number of the individual. So, Creek 1882 census, Arbica. The way they spelled the name differently. This isn't me misspelling it. This is them misspelling it. I'm transcribing it. But Arbica, Jacob Knight Town. And I put in parentheses Arbica because that's actually more the standard spelling. Yeah, Jacob Knight. Martha Knight. I put the, quotation marks. Janetta Knight. And then Ginny Argy, his stepdaughter. It mentions the age of Jacob, mentions the age of Martha. So let's see, 1882. Yeah, that's probably incorrect, his age here. Okay, because other documents indicate that he would have been born in 1849, basically. If, this would have had him being born in 1851. Was that right? Let's see. So 80, yeah. So something's off here. Oh, and it put self because he signed for himself. And then JK signed for all of them. See, Jacob Knight was signing for the money for a bunch of people, not just his own family, not just for himself, but he signed to collect money for others as well. So I also made sure to put the sex of the individual. Greenleaf Town, this is also 1882. That's why it's on the same page. And there's no differentiating by year or by role, because it's, that's how I set this up. So Greenleaf Town, Hodogoji, Marthla, but it's 20 here, but up here there's 28. So what I think happened, and again, dealing with handwriting, if you screw up the handwriting, an 8 could look like a 0 and a 0 could look like an 8. I've seen it. It looks weird. If I'm not mistaken, the original document actually kind of looks kind of questionable when it comes to the handwriting of 0 versus 8. It's the same person. Okay. Somebody screwed up. She's 28, not 20. Okay. Jenny Argy, 10. That's her daughter. And then there's Jonarty. I'm going to make an assumption that Jonarty is probably the same as Janetta on the Arbica roll of that year. But right here, you see it says paid in Arbica. So, and then for them, it's also, I put parentheses because it is the same. In fact, I might have had not parentheses, sorry, quotation marks. So these are obviously these individuals here. So Janetta is Jonarty. So Toplako, what do you know? William Robinson Sr., Jeff Robinson, William, Lena McKellop, Thomas McKellop, William McKellop. These are children of but they're in the household of William Robinson Sr. Why is that? It's because these kids' mother, who was dead at the time, Elena Robinson, also died as Elena McKellop. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's her alive at the time. She's in the household of her father. And I don't know why he's listed as Thought-Block. Oh, you know what? I know why. If I recall correct, his wife actually was Chickasaw. So one of, I don't think it was Thomas, or it might have been William, who ended up later registering as Chickasaw because his mother actually had Chickasaw blood as well in the female line. But I think William Robinson was Thought-Blocko. And so the kids, because that was the Creek side of the family, and this is Creek Nation, they ended up going with that. So, all right. Dunn Rule, 1867. Get some of the McKellops listed there. This is back when I used to do this stuff really well. My current notepad looks like crap. Old Settlers Roll, 1858. Big Spring, James McKellop, Muskogee, Thomas, Benjamin, and Joseph. That's my great-great-grandpa. James McKellop would have been their daddy. This is before the Civil War, before he was killed by the Quantrells in front of his wife and kids. Okay. Let's see. Creek Nation roll. This is a different roll. This would have been and I should have labeled this better, but this is the Campbell Creek roll. That's why it has her roll number here, 4 numbers. That mentions her as a daughter of Jeff Yargy and Martha. Number 1 on 1890 roll as Jenny Yargy. Greenleaf Census roll of 1895. Yeah, so just some notations that were on one of the Creek rolls. There's some rolls, some pages where it's like, oh, please check this and that. And then you reference a different page on the same, what is essentially the same roll, but a different page or different card number. Because you got card number and field number. Those, pay attention to stuff like that. Okay. All right. So now we got into some interesting stuff here. I mean, I should be getting into those documents over here, but I'm going to show you guys some other cool stuff. Swanton, in his book, when I was in the archive, and I think it was November of 2011, hanging out with Buddy Cox, funny guy. I hope he's doing well if he's still alive. But it mentions the different, so the town, the chief, and the Hiniha, or Hinaha. I'm not sure how you pronounce it exactly, but it means second chief. So this should be Miko. This should be Hinaha. Okay. Arbika. There's Arbika in the west. So the chief of, oh, I think it's Eufaula. I think I need to fix that. Anyways, the main chiefs are the raccoon or bear. It rotates. And the Hiniha, yeah, it's like bear or raccoon, I guess, as well. Arbika in the west, the chief was always panther. Hiniha was always raccoon, I guess. That's and Arbika in the west is probably, I don't know. That's got to be some little branch out. Asilanubi, okay, that's well, be mine. That's Greenleaf. That's what that means. That's well, at least that's Greenleaf Town. I'm not sure if it literally translates as that. I believe it does though. It's either bear or it's raccoon. Usually it's bear and then it switches to raccoon when the bear chief dies, and then the Hiniha is wind and then deer. Thalblaco, which is it's like that TL. That actually kind of draws it like that. It's weird. So it's like Laplaco, but there's a line through the L. It'd be bear, and then it'd go to raccoon, and then Hiniha it'd be like bird, and then it would be, I think I write down, yeah, like bear or wind, and then it would revert back to bird, then it would go back again to bear or wind. So it'd be bear, and then it would go to raccoon, then it'd go back to bear, then back to raccoon. That's how that works. Uchi, the chief, passed from father to son, irrespective of clan. That's how the Uchi did things. Because again, the Uchi as a tribe weren't originally Muskogee Indians. They mixed with us. They became part of our nation, and they definitely share our Muskogee blood for sure at this point. And even back then, they did. But they still had a different culture that had some similarities, but definitely its own unique differences. Kawita, fish or wind. I don't know why I put, I'm not sure if that's me or if that's Swanton putting it like that. Anyways, then, I mean, if I just transcribed it the way he wrote it, I don't know. But I guess it'd be fish and then it'd rotate to wind. The Hiniha would be bird. And then, let's see. Trying to remember how this is set up here. So Arbika, bear, and raccoon, Laplaco, bear, and bird for Hiniha. Yeah, anyways, I think I'm just kind of repeating the same information. This is how the Arbika Stomp Grounds work, okay? You got north, south, east, and west. You got the little, the fire, the four logs in the middle that have the fire coming out of them. What's going on? Miko Apokta, is that what I wrote? I can't tell. But the bear was a me. So yeah, the bear. So you have the chief's area, the chief's bed, as they call it. They have the chief. The bear, the Hinihas, and the whites, meaning the white sticks, not as opposed to red sticks. And the alligator. On this side over here. That's a warrior's bed. So you have it's like House of Kings and House of Warriors. We look at the history of our tribe. It's kind of that concept. So the warrior side is like the raccoon with the Tastanagi. Then you have the deer clan, and then you have part of alligator side here, part of panther, and then part of it'd be wind. So part of alligator here as opposed to here. Then you have panther and wind, and then of course you've got again the chief's either raccoon or bear, but I guess at Arbika in the west, it was panther. So it's kind of cool stuff. Arbika in the west, it looks like it's a lot more detailed. Okay, you got the visitor's bed. So whites of visitors of the same fire clan. I haven't looked at this in years. Again, you got the fire right here in the middle. You've got, hold on a second here. House for medicine pots. That's what the note says. And they got the chief's bed. You got the raccoon of the Hinihas. You got the panther. You got the Hilashaya, which is panther of that town. The Miko would be panther. The Hiniha would be raccoon. You've got warrior's bed, Tasanagi, the deer clan. Sat with them. Okay. Big Imathas, or it was Big Imathas. That's what that is. And then you have Little Imathas. I can't remember what Imathla means. I thought it meant like scout. I gotta double check. Then right here, the wind's bed, alligator, wind, and bear. So there are specific places where specific clans would actually sit at some of these. Yeah, here's mine right here. Okay. Asila Nabi Ceremonial Grounds in 1912. Okay. So there's the fire. You've got youths. You got the ash heap. You've got the chief. You got the, what does that say? Oh, yeah. This direction. Warriors. Tree with sweepings. Okay, I got the goal. So this has to do with like stickball, which should be happening at the green corner as well, as I understand it. So the ball pole, Mount of Tajo. Got the, yeah. So the Mount of Tajo. 32 paces to goal. Ground. Okay, wow, it's interesting. And then this is actually the square grounds itself, so that'd be more like, I guess, maybe, I don't know, I guess it'd be like closer to right here is where all this would be. So north, you have the warrior's bed, Tasanagis and Imathlas. East, you'd have the youth's bed, which would have youth bed where visitors are also accommodated. Women entered here, which like basically northeast. They'd enter here. Chukovka, dang it, sorry. Medicine pots. You got chief's bed. You got wind, and you got raccoon or panther. Oh yeah, it's the ball ground, the ash heap, and then yeah, the Miko, which would be bear, which became later raccoon. Hiniha, which would be wind, later deer. Hillis High, which would be any clan. So at Asila Nambi, Greenleaf, it didn't really matter what clan you belonged to become a medicine maker. I guess any clan, anyone from whatever clan. I mean, I'm assuming you had to have a clan at least. You couldn't probably have a white mama. You know, but anyways. So yeah, then over here is like deer, panther, deer, bear, bird, panther, beaver, alligator, tammy, and turkey mixed with the three. I'm sorry, deer, bear, and bird. These are the three sections, and panther, beaver, alligator, tammy, and turkey mixed with the three principal clans. So eliminate that. Those are those principal clans, I guess. That's that here. So kind of cool stuff. This is actually really, really cool stuff. I've been thinking about this for years. I'm so glad that that this is not the book that got covered in like mold and whatnot. So, because this has some pretty cool, important information. Come on, zoom in. Okay, so social organization, Pocha. I think I gotta. My handwriting is not always great. So grandfather. Come on, dude. Come on, phone, zoom in. Tiki, I'm not pronouncing it right. Tiki, I got to hear some of this stuff spoken or look at it in the current modern Muskogee spelling, because that might better help me to figure this out. Wanwa be sister. Hiwa would be wife. Not used by husband. Hoktali means old woman. My understanding is that was what you call your wife, not to her face. Or yeah, I don't know. But you got war names. You got like Boitli Hajo. That's the name of I mentioned at the beginning, Boitli Hajo. I wrote these down specifically because of that. So, Hobai would be far away. hopefully would be good child. So, yeah. Anyways, I got Yuchi Square Ground as well. I'm going to kind of like deviate from this at this point. That's pretty much most of what is this. Muskogee Nation, Department of Health. Yeah, that would be in, that would be May of 2012. All right. Anyways, so I hope you guys got a lot out of that. I'm going to cut this off now and do a second video so that you guys can see all this stuff. So stay tuned for that. All right, Mado.